Hey everybody, it is Mark Coe for Tuesday, 17th of October. I want to take a look at Australian dollar today, kind of continuing with this talk about levels. Um, Levels are my big focus of analysis, and the reason I really like the idea of levels, everybody I think in the retail space, or let's say everybody, but a lot of people in the retail space are very focused on indicators. They think indicators are providing them something that they can't do on their own, and they trust them more. Well, I want to show you the power of levels. I talk about levels on a daily basis. In my room, in my analysis, I use the levels. So I want to focus on Aussie dollar. And Aussie dollar had a really interesting bounce off of 77.5, which was a bigger picture level. It was a long-term level that's come into play. And talked about that the day that it was hitting there, talked about it the several days after as it tested 77.50. But what I want to look at is this bias, this preferred direction of buying Aussie dollar and why it's there and what level I used overnight. So many of you know I produce a daily FX sheet that's good for the next day. It comes out the night before. So Tuesdays, October 17th, came out last night, Monday the 16th of October, and I usually have them out by about 5 p.m. Eastern. So this is what I did last night in Aussie dollar, and I just want to talk through my reasoning. Aussie had been weak coming into this 77.5, and buyers held the 77.5. That's all I could really say about buyers. But then they started to hold a kind of a higher bottom edge. So if you'll follow with me, this is the breakdown into the lows at 77.35. We essentially hold the half. Buyers then hold a little higher level around 77.75. Buyers then hold around the 78 level. And so what I'm focused on is consolidation that took us through this edge. And I'll show you why that is of importance to me. So what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the spot where the buyers in the market will actually take out prior sell levels. And so this is the spot I'm focused on. October 2nd, October 4th, October 5th. This is what sellers held. They held the 78.70 area, and they drove the market down to 77.35. So that is the frame of reference for the edge. Buyers on Friday, the 13th of October, took it back through that edge. In other words, sellers maintained control here in early October, could not maintain that control last Friday, the 13th of October. At that stage, it's a preference now to buy dips in Aussie. And what I'm always concerned with is the consolidation that took me through that level. That's what I'm always focused on. So you'll see this is the bottom of that consolidation. Now, I've been using 78.05 as my support level in my nightly analysis. And so I always group my buy or sell zones in 15 ticks. And so I just used this zone 78.05 to 78.20. That's what I used as my overnight buy zone for Aussie dollar. So this was done obviously with last Thursday, last Friday in mind. This is what the market looks like as I produced the analysis last night. This is exactly what the market looks like when I'm doing my homework and doing my analysis. So I know that I have a preference to buy Aussie, but I also know this is where I want to buy Aussie. And so watch the market play out. Hovers around 78.5. There is your move, which everybody that has my newsletter knows that that's the level. There's nobody that doesn't have the ability to recognize that that is their level. But I was sharing today with you why that's there and why it's of meaning. And look at the reaction after it. That level clearly has meaning. Now, if you don't think that that is superior to what some indicator, which is lagging, is going to show you, you're crazy. You have the ability to do this on your own, right? So get away from the idea that you need an indicator to show it to you. You don't. You can draw these levels on your own. You just need the time and repetition to put into it to understand what levels are important, why you want to use them. But the idea that you're going to place that buy order here and you're going to get that reaction, you're going to think it's the greatest thing in the world. And how did you do that? But this is how you did it. You figured out where the market was driving from, and then on a movement back to the market, that's what you did. You played the exact same direction. So it wasn't overly complicated, but you have to understand and be able to walk through the logic. So I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Again, enjoyed looking at Aussie dollar here today, and we'll see you the rest of the week. Cheers.